Welcome to YouthCan. How does it feel to be part of such a cool program? I am Sneha.
And I'm Ban.
Together, we are part of the Youth Advisory Board. This is a group of 10 young people from 5 different countries who work together with Youth Facilitator in SOS Children's Village to improve YouthCan.
The aim is to make youth participation stronger through the Youth Advisory Board is how we make sure that young people are treated as important and equal partners in the development of program like YouthCan, which is addressed to them.
Okay, so now let's focus. Excitement is good, but staying well informed is key. For this reason, we thought about a couple of things we need to share with you.
What is YouthCan? YouthCan is an opportunity for you to become ready for the job market. The activities are created for young people who are a part of SOS Children's Villages programs, and not only. Oh yes, this is important to mention. YouthCan is a global program active in over 40 countries in the world. Because our economics and education system are so diverse, YouthCan is different in every country. This means that different activities takes place depending on our individual needs. Take Fatima from Palestine, who first attended mentoring, then was able to attend financial skill training, and finally had an internship in banking sector. Well done, Fatima. Or Pualo in Cabo Verde, a country in which tourism plays a central role. He was able to learn about hotel industry and improve his skill through training. This made him feel more confident to apply for job in hospitality sector. Good luck to you, Pualo.
So even though they are different, we follow a similar recipe for YouthCan activities in every country. It is what we like to call the 3 pillars of YouthCan. They are mentor, train, and practice. Depending on YouthCan in your country, you can take part in mentoring, training, practice activity, or a combination of all. See it as a journey. You have the opportunity to travel through the program for longer and meet inspiring people. Check out what you can be part of. Mentoring for career guidance, personal and professional development, training of soft and technical skills such as communication, financial, digital skills, and more. Practice opportunities such as job shadowing during company visit or even first work experience. Don't forget to check with your local YouthCan coordinator for this opportunity in your country. They are certified guide in your journey. So, YouthCan is here to empower you and your peer with the skill and guidance to become your strongest self. By the end of this journey, you will feel motivated, have a plan for your next step into a professional life, gain skills that will help you to find a job, increase your network, and meet people from whom you can learn a lot.
We now know that YouthCan offers activities for mentoring, training and practice, but who delivers them and how? Along with young people, volunteers are at heart of YouthCan. They work in different companies with different jobs and background studies. In their free time, they volunteer to mentor, train, or accompany you during internship experiences. You will be matched with a volunteer based on your learning needs and career prospectus. This will be the start of mentoring relation in which volunteer will offer you guidance, advice and support with learning new skills. At this point, volunteer become a mentor, or it could be the start of training experience in which volunteer teaches you and other young people about different type of skills. Or it could be that the volunteer shares about their daily task on the job while you are visiting the company. So many opportunities and companions on this journey.
Now, flexibility is very important in YouthCan. We also want to make sure that our program reaches out to you wherever you are, and that is why YouthCan goes digital. YouthLink community was created in partnership with young people by asking them what should such a thing include in the first place. The digital platform allows us to safely connect with each other and keep on learning. Don't worry, it is very easy to use and it looks similar to Facebook. So, what can you do on YouthLink community? Connect with volunteers from the corporate world, connect with other people in SOS Children's Village worldwide, attend event and online course. Explore a content library with sessions created specially for you. Assess advocacy opportunity to raise your voice for things that matter to you. For YouthCan, this is a game changer. Activities normally happen face to face with volunteers from the same country where you live in. But with the power of technology, we also succeed to offer YouthCan online. In this way, you can also meet with your mentor or attend training on your YouthLink community platform.
But check this out, online mentoring or training can also be organized with volunteers from a different country, where learning borders disappears and conversation takes place in a language you both speak. It can be English, Spanish, French, or other languages. It really depends on where you and the volunteers are from. Let's look at an example. Vera is a young person from Russia who joined YouthCan. She is very passionate about all topics related to communication and would like to become public relations specialist in order to improve her skills and get more insight about such jobs. Vera has been matched with a volunteer from Nigeria, Christian, who is leading the communication and fundraising team in DHL Nigeria. Vera and Christian met online on the YouthLink community platform twice a month, where they focused on improving Vera's skills and her ability to present herself at a job interview. Curious to access YouthLink's community or engage with volunteers from different countries in mentoring or training? Check with your local YouthCan coordinator. They are certified guides in your journey.
Next, being safe. For a meaningful YouthCan experience, it is important to know that you have the right to protect from all forms of violence. There are people and places you can contact if you ever feel unsafe or mistreated. Volunteers have the responsibility to make you feel safe, to be worthy of your trust and to protect you from harm. Feeling safe and comfortable together is one of the key elements for a good mentoring or training session. For this reason, both young people and volunteer must be well prepared before they join YouthCan.
A first step is to be willing to learn about potential behaviors that might hurt you or make you feel mistreated. Knowing how to recognize them in a mentoring relation and where to report if you ever feel uncomfortable empowers you to stand up for yourself and others. Let's do an exercise together and learn about what is okay and what not.
Should we pick the most obvious one first?
Sure, I can already see some red flags here. What do you think, Sneha? Is it okay for volunteers to shout at young person if they make mistake in the workplace?
No. Verbal intimidation or humiliation is not a constructive way to communicate feedback and fix potential mistakes.
Tell sexual jokes to young people just for fun.
No. Use of sexual language like sexualized remark about clothes or the way you look is inappropriate. Flirting, romantic relationship or sexual encounter are not okay either.
Use their position of power as a mentor to get young people to do certain things?
No. Mentors should not use their position to get young people to do certain things, such as favors. This includes free labor, giving tasks to young people related to their job, or involving young people in activities that are against their will or can harm their physical and mental health.
Discipline young people or try to gain their obedience by acting in an intermediating manner?
No. Verbal or physical discipline actions are not okay. Mentors must obtain respect by being a positive role model, not by bullying and intimidating young people.
Meet with a young person for work or mentorship purpose outside of the workplace.
Yes, you can decide together on the location in which both of you are comfortable to meet for your mentorship sessions. Be mindful that it should be a public place and the address should be communicated to the YouthCan coordinator beforehand.
Great work, Sneha. It feels easier to talk to you about it. For the rest of the questions, I would like to invite an adult that I trust to offer some answers. Listen to safeguarding specialist Sarah offering advice to new volunteers about how they should protect us at all times.
Although some forms of child abuse are obvious, others might not always have a clear yes or no answer. My name is Sarah and I can support you. Let me invite our new volunteer Archie and discuss his questions.
Hello Sarah. Do you think it's okay to flirt with a young person? Why or why not?
This is definitely a big no. Of course, some people are naturally flirtatious and young people may flirt with you as well. It is very important that professional boundaries are set, because this can lead down a road to sexual abuse.
But how do you recognize a flirtatious behavior?
Well, if you have to question it, then it is probably flirtatious. If the young person carries it, you need to establish boundaries from the beginning. Private social media is an absolute no-go. Do not add each other on Instagram, Facebook or other private networks.
And what if I need to create a WhatsApp group for mentoring purposes?
Then make sure to add the SOS Children's Village's local contact person in there too. In any case, if private messaging is happening on WhatsApp, this should be to an extent that you are both comfortable with it. For example, it is okay if young people ask experience-related questions, advice for a job application, etc.
It is clear now, thank you. What about spending many hours alone with a young person? Let's say we are from the same city and I have several young people under my mentorship. I know they love football and invites them to celebrate the end of our experience with a 3 hours game and networking. Does this qualify as many hours spent alone? What do you say?
It is a tricky question, but let me try to answer it. You should always think about where you meet with the person, about what kind of activities you do together, and what is your attitude. If you are ever unsure about it, you should get in touch with the SOS Children's Village's local contact person, and they will let you know about what is appropriate to do or not.
And what if I would like to give young people money or gifts?
We do not encourage giving gifts to individuals. However, if you would like to make a financial contribution, there are ways to give donations to the local SOS Children's Village directly.
I understand. It's better to check with the SOS Children's Village's local contact person at all times. I have another tricky question. Can I offer a young person a lift in my car? Let's imagine we just had our group mentorship session in the city library and one of the young people is living out of the city. It just happens that I live in the same direction and I can give them a ride. Is that okay if I do it?
As a general rule, mentorship activities must be planned in a way that the young people can get back home easily well before dusk. Therefore, the situation described in this scenario should be only exceptional. In such a situation, you should either call the SOS Children's Village's local contact person or one of the parents of the young person and ask them whether they agree you to drive them. Sending a message, such as a text message, WhatsApp, to them is not sufficient. Keep in mind that when you drive the young person home, you are responsible for their safety. Drive carefully and follow all safety requirements. For instance, use a seat belt.
I have another question. Can I invite a young person to my home or visit their home?
As mentioned before, you should avoid putting yourself in situations with the young people which might lead to flirtatious behavior, disclosing of private information, or power imbalances. Do not invite them to your home or go to visit theirs. You should always meet in public spaces and have a professional conduct. In the same manner, you should not cross the privacy boundaries and ask young people private details about their life. Should there be any exceptional situations in which the relation with your mentee is very strong and you have the opportunity to join certain milestones, for example, a graduation celebration, a birthday party, it should be under the supervision of the SOS Children's Village's local contact person or one of the parents of the young person.
Thank you, Sarah. Now it all looks clear for me.
See, Ben, volunteers are being prepared for this experience just like us. Now, remember when we were saying that YouthCan activities can take place face to face but also online. This comes with a lot of opportunities for learning but also additional risk that you should know about. Access to internet allow us to check school classes, attend training, watch the latest movie, or ask for a pizza to be delivered to our home. There is an infinite amount of information on the internet, but not all of it is appropriate for children and young people. Just as you can find true and useful information, there is also content to which you should not have access, such as sexual, false information, hate speech, and content that promote violence. Such things can emotionally affect you.
Let's have a look at some examples that could happen in YouthCan and learn how you can react.
Access to inappropriate content.
There are some websites out there which might contain free resources, for example, an online documentary that triggers exposure to pornographic violent images or others. This type of content can be shared with you by no intentional, but if it is shared on purpose, don't hesitate to report it to YouthCan coordinator. This is inappropriate, can be harmful, and possibly illegal. Make sure you also check what you share with the mentor and other young people. Be mindful not to expose them to inappropriate content that might affect them or hurt their feelings.
Cyberbullying.
You don't have to talk to anyone who is being mean or making you feel uncomfortable. If someone is bullying you or others online, you can stand up to it by reporting it. You should also be kind to others and respectful of their feelings. Being a bully is not cool.
Online harmful sexual behavior.
Sexting is the practice of sending photos, videos, and messages with sexual content through digital devices. This can be initiated by either volunteer or a young person. If you are the receiver of such content, you should report it right away. You must respect boundaries and not engage in online sexual practice with a volunteer or other young people in the mentoring group.
Sharing of private information.
It means expose of someone's identity, private information, or personal details without their consent. For example, if a picture of yourself was shared on social media platforms or websites without your consent, you should report it. You have the right to privacy. Let's look at an example. At the end of one of the mentorship sessions, a volunteer posted a picture of his experience on his personal Facebook page or Instagram account. It includes a picture of a boy and a girl with the caption, "I had such a nice afternoon mentoring Sip Hive and Nolanhala at Ikagang SOS Children's Village. Every employer should see that SOS young people are competent and bright individuals ready to take on labor market. During our mentoring session, we developed a strong bond of trust. It left me wonder, how can such bad things happen to such beautiful soul? Beyond me. Hashtag stop sexual predators. Hashtag me too."
Whoa! Are those their real names? And I can already see their exact location.
So young people, I hate it when anyone calls us that it really encourages stigma. Oh no, and the hashtag. You can read their whole life story from this Facebook post.
For preventing any such situations in the physical or online world, it is important that you know what to do. No adult, no other young person have the right to mistreat you or hurt you, be it physically, by denying your basic needs, by touching you inappropriately, by using words that make you suffer, or by violating your right to privacy. But if this happens, the right thing to do is to tell an adult you trust and ask for help. For example, the person who takes care of you, a relative, a teacher, or someone you trust in SOS Children's Villages. If you already reported and did not receive appropriate support, don't give up. These matters must be taken seriously, so bring them up again. You can call the child helpline in your country, call the police, or go to nearest police station.
If you don't feel listened to by SOS Children's Village employee from your location or country, you also have the option to share your concern through the online channel. You can find it here on the SOS Children's Village International website. You do not have to give your name if you don't want to. Anyway, you can create an account there, just like in an app, but use a fake name and type in a password. It's called Postbox. Then you can log in whenever you want and check if you have message about your concern. An employee of the international office will look into it, ask more questions if needed, and treat your information confidentially.
Volunteers need to promote good balance between too friendly and very professional. But young people have the same responsibility. In the same way, the volunteers need to know and respect what type of behavior is not acceptable on their side. It is also your responsibility to respect these boundaries. This means no social media friend request and communication on channels such as Instagram or Facebook. No flirting with your mentor or using inappropriate language.
You can maintain communication on email, the YouthLink community platform, or WhatsApp groups, which could also include the YouthCan coordinator. In any case, don't worry. You do not need to change who you are. The advantage of such relation is that regular supportive communication lead to beautiful meetings in which both you and the volunteer can learn and have fun as long as you feel comfortable with the topics.
Next, let's talk about values. You and the YouthCan volunteers are equal partner on this journey. And like in any other relationship, we should treat other people just like we would like to be treated. To find out which are those values and behaviors from young people themselves, we asked our colleague from the Youth Advisory Board, and they think that being accountable to one another in the all aspect is the foundation of mentorship. Let's discover more in our ideal mentor and mentees profiles. Mentor: experience and enthusiasm in the field, willingness to share skills and knowledge, respectful behavior, open and honest communication, patient and understanding, attentive to the needs of young people, flexible and adjustable, dynamic, interactive, professional but also friendly, provide constructive feedback.
Mentee: positive attitude, willingness to learn, respectful behavior, open and honest communication, value mentors, commitment, is not afraid to ask questions, on time for appointments, responsive to message, accept feedback, shares feedback with the mentor, positive and area of improvement.
Now, let's have a closer look at some of the values and attitudes you should promote. Being open. Going along with an exercise or discussion, even if you think it is silly or pointless, maybe you will learn something that you didn't expect. It also means sharing a little bit about yourself and your journey of searching for a job, as well as your learning needs, strengths, and weaknesses. Being honest. If you don't understand something, you should tell your mentor, and they will be happy to explain. Also, if the session is not very helpful for you, then it might be good for your mentor to know. Just explain it respectfully so they can adapt in the way that it is more useful for you. It could help if you give a specific example of what you would like to learn instead.
Being respectful, what is not okay to do. Being late, not answer to message, or being rude in your body language or words all shows a lack of respect for someone with whom you are collaborating. When online, it is especially important that you respect the effort being put into the session. You should not be distracted yourself with your phone or talking to friends while you are on mute. Being late, not turning up, or not listening can lead to mentors losing respect for you and affect your relation. Remember that the volunteer is not being paid for this, but this is out of a desire to support you in your personal and professional development. And how can we ensure we are accountable and clear in communication? If possible, organize a time and day of the week when you always do a session with your mentor. You can do it together in your introduction session and then stay in touch to confirm it. If you have a smartphone, put it in a reminder for an hour before so you can get prepared, but any other system for reminder works. If you need to cancel an appointment, let your mentor know as soon as you're possible, at least a day in advance, unless it is an emergency.
Alright, if you keep in mind these most important things, then you will do just fine. For next part, we invite Sarah to share some important messages.
Thank you, Sneha and Ben. You've done a brilliant job already with this introduction. I will now prepare you for the next step, signing the YouthCan agreement. When it comes to exchanging money or time with people you don't know very well, it's often important to make sure that they commit on paper, rather than just accepting their word. Everyone involved in YouthCan will be asked to sign an agreement. This document explains the expectations in terms of behavior and indicates how long you will be part of the program. Why are we asking you to sign it? If something is written down and you sign up to it, you are more likely to understand and follow what you are committing to. Volunteers and companies involved in YouthCan will be committing their own time to it as well. So it is important that you also prove your commitment. Besides, signing an agreement is an important part of getting a job, so it is good to become familiar with it, as it will often happen when you start a professional collaboration with a company. Don't forget, it is always important to read anything you commit to, so you are aware of what your own responsibilities are and what you will get in return. Finally, what happens after YouthCan? Your journey doesn't stop there. Depending on how close your mentorship relation becomes, you might still remain in touch with the volunteer to celebrate some of your smaller or bigger victories and to ask for occasional advice. On our side, SOS Children's Villages has the responsibility to discuss with you your next steps in life, since this YouthCan experience might have influenced the way you see your future job or what skills you want to improve. Let's hear from our colleagues in Lebanon how exactly this is being done.
By now, young people have been exposed to their area of interest. They know more about the skills and attributes they possess. They have extended their professional network and, of course, have taken a new step toward their goals. But their journey towards adulthood does not end here. Other opportunities await young people, from internship to other skills training, or they may have already started looking for a job. Our support goes beyond mentoring. We jointly work with young people on their individual development to reach independence and have all the life skills they need to succeed in the world at large. YouthCan is one of the employability initiatives of SOS Children Villages. Celine, who is a former participant, will tell us more about her experiences.
I was 15 years old when I started participating in YouthCan. The program helped me through different steps. I was first exposed to different job options through career days and company visits. This helped me learn more about myself and discover my qualifications, skills, and interests. These exposures helped me identify my passion for understanding human behavior, and as a result, I am currently studying sociology at university. I am still in contact with my mentor on professional platforms. She shares with me job opportunities, reading materials, and even introduced me to a famous sociologist. I will soon start my first internship opportunity, so wish me luck.
We celebrate the diversity of YouthCan and the uniqueness of every young person. Whenever you feel like you could use a friend to talk with who shares similar value and feeling with you, just remember, there are thousands of young people participating in YouthCan every year who may feel the same. If you ever want to talk to someone or you need advice, you can reach out to us through the YouthLink community. Do you still have question or curiosity? That's absolutely okay. Just make sure to check with your local YouthCan coordinator, their certified guide in your journey.
Before you go, remember that together we can make YouthCan better. Every year, we share a survey with young people and volunteers in order to evaluate how beneficial was YouthCan for them. Listening to you all and giving you this opportunity to provide feedback about your experience is so important. It allows the YouthCan program not only to measure its impact, but also to make changes and develop or improve future activities according to your needs. Please reserve 15 minutes of your attention after you finish your experience with YouthCan and share your honest feedback. Thank you in advance.
Okay, you're ready now. So make the best out of your YouthCan experience. Bye.
Bye.